Hello, my name's Galena. I'm the fiance of Joshua Lee McCollister, who was murdered on July 8th by Deunn Willis and robbed by Danielle Durand. It was really important after Josh and I were engaged that I developed a great relationship with his mom. He loved his mom so much, and he really wanted us to get along. And I was just terrified to reach out to this woman. I'd had a very, very bad relationship with my previous mother-in-law for over 20 years. Like, bad, very, very bad relationship with this woman. And I was really afraid to try to make nice with another mother-in-law. And Josh used to tell me, no, you don't understand. My mom is not like that. And you two are gonna just be like best of friends. She's so nice. But I really was so shy. It wasn't actually until Josh was killed that I built a rapport with Sandy, and everything that Josh had said about his mom was 100% true. She's like the nicest person in the world. And we talk every couple days, and it's very cathartic for the two of us to talk. She told me something yesterday that made me really angry. I think that after we hung up the phone, I got angrier and angrier because the reality of what she said just sunk in more and more. She's received a bill for Josh's ambulance ride. Don't know why she's received it, but she has. And it just got me to thinking of all the subtle nuances of having a loved one be murdered that people might not think about. That ambulance tried to save Josh's life. I understand them wanting to be paid. It's very expensive. You know, Deunn Willis's people or person, Ms. Martin, raised about close to $700, I think, on that spot fund. You know, which basically, which I got shut down because they didn't mention that he'd killed somebody. The ambulance ride that tried to save Josh's life is more expensive than the amount of money that was raised on that spot fund. And it just really hit home how little compassion our family has received from the families of the people that killed Josh. There has not been one person from that family who, when they saw the memorial site that was listed on the Time Standard article about Josh loving his kids, not one person from that family went onto Josh's memorial site and wrote, "So sorry for your loss." Not one. And when I was sobbing outside courtroom 3, sobbing a lot harder because of the camaraderie I saw between these two families out in the hallway outside the courtroom, there's not one person that came over and said to the person who's very obviously there for the murder victim, "So sorry for your loss." Nobody had a kind word for me, for Josh's parents, Josh's family. And I'm sure that this is pretty standard when there's a murder case. You know, I think about the expenses our families have, like the travel expenses to Humboldt County to see Josh one more time. Because I just couldn't believe it was true. I could not believe it was really him. You know, flowers, anything, nothing has come out of these people at all. Not one single kind word, nothing. You know, there are people that never met Josh, that know what he did for, they know what he did for the missing and murdered girls of Mendocino County and Humboldt County and a lot of different places. They've seen his work and they were so impressed that these strangers actually helped pay for Josh's funeral expenses. They were just so in awe. They call him a hero. And because they thought his sacrifices here, specifically Mendocino County most, were so heroic, they helped pay for Josh's last needs, shall we say. And it just made me think, you know, how is it that these people who were complete strangers and didn't have a dog in this fight, they did that, and not one person in the killer's families could say so much as a kind freaking word. And it's been months at this point, so frankly, I don't want any kind words from them at this point. I saw everything I needed to know in that hallway. Everything. You know, I really thought that Danielle Durand's father might reach out. That's the one person that I thought might do it, because his daughter was talking about him during this attack. I thought that it might have actually been very hard on a father to hear that someone else's son is dead because she just had to have that puppy back for her dad. I might have thought that her father might have reached out to Neil and said, "I'm sorry, Neil, that you lost your son." Nope. Same thing with Deunn Willis's father. Did they reach out? Did he reach out to Neil? Did either of these fathers, whose children are still alive, did they reach out? Nope. I could be wrong, but I doubt Neil would really want their condolences at this point, because it would be fake. It would be basically, well, please stop shooting these videos, making us look bad. You know, I told Sandy yesterday that I'm going to get a tombstone to place near where Josh was killed. That means a lot to me. And she says, "Oh, honey, they're just gonna destroy it." And I said, "Yeah, I know." But it means so much to me that there's a memorial there for him. Something that specifically says he died trying to make his kids happy, because that's what happened. He got them a puppy and he was killed for it. You can't imagine what it's like to hear a mother saying that she just got a bill for her son's ambulance ride. Josh didn't deserve to be shot, and his mother doesn't deserve to receive a bill for the ride that just didn't get him to the hospital in time. One of the people connected to this told me he almost made it. They almost got him there in time. So I always come back to, Deunn Willis could have just tried to get him in his car. I'm guessing it's about 20 minutes from the hospital and 20 minutes back. If Josh died right before the hospital, that means that if Deunn Willis had put Josh in his car, to my mind, he'd have survived. But Deunn Willis didn't do that. He didn't do anything to save Josh. And again, I always close with this. That's why he deserves the maximum penalty. That's why Danielle Durand deserves the maximum penalty.